Ever wondered what it takes to be a sheer genius? Well, this is the story of a young boy born out of wedlock in a small Italian town, armed with nothing but an insatiable curiosity and a pencil. Decades later, the same boy grew up to become Leonardo da Vinci, a name associated with brilliance, creativity, and innovation. From painting the enigmatic Mona Lisa to conceptualizing flying machines well before they actually took to the skies, Leonardo was more than just a painter. He represented the very essence of a Renaissance man. He is an embroidery with threads of art, science, and invention, with each thread showing a mystery that needed to be unraveled. We go deep into the life and times of Leonardo da Vinci and discuss his daily habits that created these incredible works and how his influence continues to echo into our world today. What did he come to know about life, art, and the very essence of human potential? Join us on that journey. Leonardo da Vinci's day did not start with a very long and restful sleep, as most of us do. As a matter of fact, he was a practitioner of the art of power napping. Yes, you heard it right. Leonardo practiced what is known as polyphasic sleep. In other words, he is taking a nap for 20 minutes every 4 hours. That comes up to only 2 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period. Thanks to such an unconventional routine, he could work at an amazingly high productivity and creativeness, turning him into a night owl. Imagine the possibilities. While people were sound asleep, Leonardo dreamed of his next work of art or discovery. At dawn, Leonardo would begin his day with self-affirmations. He'd sit down with his journal and write positive statements to battle any remaining self-doubt. Can you imagine starting your day by telling yourself, "I shall continue," or "Obstacles do not bend me"? It's a great way to set the tone for the day ahead. He knew that a healthy body was a prerequisite for a sharp mind, so he kept his diet filled with fresh vegetables and grains. No heavy breakfasts for this genius, just light, nutritious meals that would keep him focused and energized. As the sun rises into the sky, Leonardo's afternoons become all about curiosities and explorations. This man was an insatiable learner. He filled countless journals with sketches and observations from nature. Every flower, every bird, every shadow, everything became a source of inspiration for his art and inventions. It's like he could see through some kind of superpower, the beauty in everything that lay around him. While for others it may be mundane, Leonardo finds magic in the details, thus enabling us all to see the world through a different pair of glasses, a lens of creativity and curiosity. Leonardo's daily routine wasn't about merely getting the work done, but finding a well-thought-out system to connect with his genius. His freakish sleep pattern, morning rituals, and never-ending quest for knowledge combine in such a way as to make life not just productive, but highly effective. As night started to fall, Leonardo da Vinci, unlike the average man in the street, did not come to the end of his hard day's toil, wind down, and slowly wind up for rest. For him, night resembled a silent, solitary place for contemplation. Just imagine him sitting in his workshop, some drafts and half-painted canvases around him, and the candlelight tenderly dancing on the walls. During these moments, he reflected on the works he had done during the day. He gave consideration to both the successful ones and the failures. The way he combines rest and introspection is important because such practices keep his thoughts fresh and alert to those mysterious phenomena of art and science awaiting him. There is something so poetic in the way he balances work and contemplation. In this fast-lane life, few of us remember to stop and breathe. Leonardo's night ritual is a soft note that amidst greatness, other than hard work, there is taking time to step back and understand one's journey. This deeper insight he could achieve through reflection after reflection fueled creativity. But remember, daily routines don't make one great. They are only the building blocks of something bigger. So, what did Leonardo build with all this introspection? The artistry of Leonardo da Vinci not only changed how one looked at paintings, but changed the whole dimension of art. Such was his mastery of perspective that even the flat canvas became so deep one felt as if one looked from a window into another world. And when you look at his work, you are not seeing paint on a surface but living a moment in time. Frozen, yes, but packed with emotion and story. Take the example of the Mona Lisa, the most famous painting in the world. The smile of the subject has, for centuries, tormented viewers to argue incessantly over who she was and the secrets she keeps. Who was she? What does she think but doesn't say behind the subtle grin? Every glance at her face invites one to understand a mystery that has kept even the keenest of historians guessing. Then there is the monumental work of The Last Supper, painted between 1495 and 1498, which depicts the very emotional moment when Jesus revealed that one of his disciples would betray him. Every different emotion by each disciple can be seen, and Leonardo has truly succeeded in drawing the viewer into the tension of this scene. One almost feels the shock and incredulity emanating from these figures, thereby making this one of the most studied and respected pieces in the history of art. And finally, there is the drawing known as the Vitruvian Man, which reflects Leonardo's interest in the human form and the proportional relationships of its various parts. The drawing represents more than the mere anatomy of the human body. Rather, it speaks volumes about the very essence of the human being. A perfect blend of art and science, unparalleled by anyone then. Scientific innovations. But wait, there is much more about Leonardo da Vinci than just his overwhelming paintings. Besides being a genius painter, he was a prophetic inventor, a real precursor whose fantasy could fly beyond his time limits. Imagine your life in the 15th century, and suddenly someone mentioned to you flying. Yet here was Leonardo with his designs on flying machines, replicas of modern-day helicopters and gliders. Can you imagine? He conceptualized the idea of humans flying before man had ever taken to the skies. His notebooks are filled with drawings of wings, flying devices, and even a prototype for an early version of a helicopter. It is as if he viewed the future and imagined a world where humans could take to the skies. It did not stop there. Leonardo now turned his inventive mind to warfare as he designed armored vehicles that bore a close resemblance to the stuff from science fiction movies. Ideas, he suggested, included tanks and other machinery designed to protect soldiers as they forged onto the battlefield. These were ideas that would not see their time for many centuries in design, ideas that not only underlined his imagination, but his concepts of mechanics and engineering. What is truly interesting, however, is the way Leonardo treated these inventions. He did not stop at drawing them. He studied the birds while flying, studied the movement, and studied the mechanics that took place during this process. Never before or since has anyone merged art with science in such a way. And it is this marriage of observation and imagination which places him in a league apart. If any title summed up the range of talents and unquenchable thirst for learning he represented, that title would be Leonardo da Vinci as the archetype of the Renaissance man. Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452, in Vinci, Italy. Not just an artist, but a true polymath who delved into the varied realms of anatomy, engineering, theatre, among others. Think about that mind behind two of the most famous paintings. The Mona Lisa and The Last Supper had that same kind of brilliance and inquisitiveness about human anatomy and the way man could fly. Leonardo was insatiably curious, and he watched everything around him with the wide-eyed wonder of a child and the acuity of a genius. It is less a matter of his genius and more of unending yearning for learning that places Leonardo in such an incomparable role. He studied human anatomy in great detail, even to the extent of dissections to learn about the linkage of the muscles and bones, which was very unusual for those times. His notebooks were full of all sorts of sketches and observations, showing him as indefatigably curious for everything around him. He didn't want to know how things worked. He wanted to know why. This is where he cuts out, as the true Renaissance thinker. Now, put Leonardo in today's world with all this technology, say Leonardo with 3D printing or Leonardo with advanced imaging techniques. What would he come up with? What masterpieces could he come up with? Possibilities endless. He might have been right there in the forefront, changing much more than just art and science with his inventions, actually leading us through many of humanity's most overwhelming problems of today. The legacy of Leonardo sends an immensely important message to all of us, that of the powers of curiosity and exploration. Living in a world where knowledge can sometimes seem compartmentalized, specialized, he taught us that genius really does lie in the connections one can make between the different fields and ideas. In our everyday, fast-moving life, we could find encouragement in his example to foster a wide range of interests in ourselves and others, and to ask questions throughout our lives. Leonardo da Vinci was not just an artist. He was a seeker of truth in an ever-shifting world. His life calls upon us to reflect on one question. What does Leonardo da Vinci's relentless pursuit of knowledge mean for us? Join us next time as we unravel more secrets from history. So if you enjoyed this little journey through the life of Leonardo da Vinci, please feel free to like and subscribe for more incredible historical tales. Leave a comment below with your thoughts, and which part of Leonardo's life do you find most fascinating?